What's going on, basketball fans? My name is Josh and I am back with another video. The Toronto Raptors are officially the 2019 NBA champions. From Kyle Lowry going off at the beginning of the game to Fred VanVleet knocking down huge threes in the fourth quarter, the Raptors earned this one. But as good as the Raptors played, you can't forget about what the team in the other locker room was going through. Boogie was coming off a torn quad, Iguodala was banged up, Kevon Looney had a broken rib, and of course KD and Klay Thompson suffered two absolutely devastating injuries. But nevertheless, the Raptors will always go down as the 2019 NBA champions. But what if I told you the Raptors weren't the only winners of the NBA Finals? Let me explain. The 2019 Finals shook the NBA more than we might actually think. For years, the Golden State Warriors have dominated the NBA. Since 2015, they made the finals every single year and won 3 championships in the process. They will go down as easily one of the greatest teams and dynasties in the history of this league. And in my lifetime, they are the greatest team I have ever watched. But unfortunately, we saw this team go through one of the unluckiest stretches you will ever see in sports. And as a result, the door just opened for another team and another player to once again rule the NBA. Of course, I'm talking about LeBron James and the LA Lakers. As soon as the finals ended, we watched the Raptors celebrate their first ever NBA title. But that didn't stop Las Vegas from deciding who has the best odds to win the 2020 NBA title. And for the first time in a long time, it wasn't the Golden State Warriors, it was actually the LA Lakers. Taking a look at the landscape of the NBA and what we just witnessed, the Lakers are in the best position to take advantage of the events that just occurred. So, with that being said, let's take a look at the position the NBA is in right now and really show where the Lakers stand amongst every other contender in the NBA. First off, let's take a look at the defending champion Toronto Raptors. When a team wins a title, of course that next year you would think they'd be the favorites, right? Well, that isn't the case this year. The Raptors have a great combination of young talent and defensive-minded veterans that made them the champions they are today. But the biggest question mark surrounding this team is the future of Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi is easily a top 5 player in the NBA and is a 2-time champion and 2-time Finals MVP. But Kawhi hasn't really mentioned much about his upcoming free agency, and we don't really know where his mind is at. But to be honest, there is a legitimate chance that within the next month, Kawhi is playing in a brand new city. At the end of the day, Kawhi never wanted to be on the Toronto Raptors. It was reported back when he was traded that he had no desire to play for the Raptors. And even though they won an NBA title, that doesn't guarantee that he will be back next season. And even if he comes back, Kyle Lowry is going to be 34 years old next season. Marc Gasol, if he decides to come back as well, is going to be 35. And even if their young guys like Pascal Siakam and Fred VanVleet take that next step, is that enough to win another NBA title? The future of the Raptors is a huge question mark right now, and if Kawhi leaves, this team will be another middle of the pack playoff team for years and years to come. Now let's move on to the Golden State Warriors. First of all, much respect to Golden State and all those guys who played through injury. This team is more beat up than you can ever imagine. Kevin Durant, of course, has a torn Achilles, and it was reported that KD is going to miss all of next season, just rehabbing the injury. So you can take one of the best players in the world out of the picture. For Klay Thompson, he suffered a torn ACL in the NBA Finals. Klay is one of the greatest shooters and on-ball defenders we have ever seen in the history of this game, but he is expected to be gone until February or March of next season. And then we have Boogie Cousins. Unless Boogie decides to take the mid-level exception one more time, he's most likely out of Golden State. So that leaves Golden State with a team of Stephen Curry, Draymond Green, Iguodala if he decides to come back for another year, and just a bunch of role players. As Woj said on Twitter, this team is going to have a hard time even making the playoffs next season with how good the Western Conference is. Once Klay comes back in February, it might take him a while to get back in game shape, and who knows if he'll be the same all-star caliber player come playoff time. And what I didn't even mention is that Klay and KD are both unrestricted free agents this summer. I assume both of them are going to come back on long-term deals, but once again, you never really know in the NBA. So the Warriors are a huge question mark for next season. There's no question that Stephen Curry is going to tear it apart next season, but what about the rest of his supporting cast? We really don't know. Draymond Green is no Kevin Durant, and Andre Iguodala is no Klay Thompson. So the Warriors are also a huge question mark. Now let's take a look at some other contenders in the NBA. The Houston Rockets are going through a very tough time right now as well. They aren't injured like the Warriors, but the team is just getting older. CP3 is going to be 35 years old come playoff time next season, and he clearly isn't the same prime CP3 that we remember from a couple years ago. The Rockets have struggled getting over the hump, and with most of their guys getting up there in age like Eric Gordon and PJ Tucker, will they be able to compete for an NBA title next year? I don't really know for sure. Next we have the Milwaukee Bucks. With an MVP Giannis and an all-star in Chris Middleton at the moment, this team is primed to make a run in the Eastern Conference next season. There's no question about that. But their biggest issue right now is, do they have the experience to win an NBA title? It was clear when they faced off against Toronto in the Eastern Conference Finals last season that Toronto was just miles ahead when it came to experience, and in the playoffs, experience truly matters. But you have to remember that Giannis is only 24 years old, and his time will come, there's no question about that. But is his time next season? We don't know for sure. Now, there are many teams in the NBA right now who are just in limbo with this upcoming free agency, including the LA Lakers. If you take a look at the Boston Celtics, for example, they aren't sure if Kyrie Irving is coming back. Philly doesn't know about Jimmy Butler or Tobias Harris, and the Nets and Knicks, who had their sights set on Kevin Durant, is going to be gone all of next year. And even if the Nets sign Kyrie Irving, once again, is that enough to win an NBA title? And the same goes for the Clippers and the Lakers. The Clippers want Kevin Durant, and of course, Kevin Durant isn't going to be around next season. And if they bring in Kawhi Leonard and just Kawhi Leonard, is that team going to be any better than last year's Toronto Raptors? I don't really know for sure. There is so much uncertainty surrounding the NBA right now, and no team has a clear-cut advantage. But when you ask the question of which team is primed to make a run next season, it's easily the LA Lakers. With LeBron James, one of the best players in the world, tons of young talent from Lonzo Ball, Brandon Ingram, Kyle Kuzma, and of course the 4th pick in the NBA draft, the door is wide open for the Lakers to win a title next season. As we speak, the Lakers are in talks of acquiring Anthony Davis, and if that happens in the near future, we are looking at a core of LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and a max spot to sign a free agent this summer. Even if they part ways with their young talent of Lonzo, Ingram, and possibly Kyle Kuzma, they are still in an amazing position. There's a reason why the Lakers have the best odds to win a title next year. They've got the talent and the young assets ready to make a trade for Anthony Davis. But with the rest of the NBA questioning where they stand, the ball is in the Lakers' court to make something happen right now. This is the greatest chance they might ever get to win an NBA title. With Kevin Durant out for an entire season, not only are the Warriors less of a threat, but any team that wanted to sign Kevin Durant is less of a threat as well. And with Kawhi potentially leaving Toronto, I don't know if any team that he joins will be as good as last year's Toronto Raptors. Rob Pelinka, Jeannie Buss, and the Lakers organization just won big time. They have to take advantage of this opportunity and capitalize this summer. LeBron is only getting older. He's heading into year 17 next season, and this upcoming season is their best shot to win an NBA title. And like I said, the ball is in their court. Now obviously this is speculation, but you have to admit that with the landscape of the current NBA, with all of these injuries, the Lakers are by far in the best position to build a team to become NBA champions. And there's no question about that. You can look at Boston, but if Kyrie Irving leaves Boston, they're out of the picture. You can look at Toronto, but if Kawhi leaves Toronto, they're out of the picture. And even if Kawhi stays in Toronto, can they beat a potential Laker team with LeBron and Anthony Davis? And the Warriors in the playoffs, even if Klay Thompson comes back to 100%, is a team of Steph, Klay, and Draymond good enough to win another NBA title? So that's why I believe the LA Lakers are the real winner of this year's NBA Finals. I want you guys to let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Do you agree or disagree with me? Let me know. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you guys hit that like button. Also, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button for more content in the future. You guys have been killing it lately, and I just want to say thank you for all the amazing support. But that's it for me. Till next time, peace.